Hello guys and welcome back to Brits Bollywood. Before the break I asked you a simple question. The film is Zameen. Who was the other leading actor? And the answer is Abhishek Bachchan. Now I'm about to talk about Veena Malak and the ISI tattoo. Now she is a leading actress from Lollywood, which is Pakistan's film industry, and guess what she did? She actually literally did a nude picture for FHM India and she had ISI there. Apparently they've got a fatwa against her in Pakistan, but more importantly what's really funny is that apparently she said she didn't do it. Where there was video blogs, there was photos, everything was going on, and apparently she's dating Ashmit Patel right now and she's acting in 3 B-grade Bollywood films which haven't been released yet. And she's also planning to go on another reality show, having succeeded in one reality show in India. What's really funny is that apparently if you have so many reality shows going on with you in your life, and even if you do a nude picture, the A-list directors will never cast you because your fame is only belonging to the masses and you don't earn the respect. So guys, remember this, it's always about the respect. You have to respect an actor when you go to watch their film. But each to their own. We wish her best and I hope she survives all the fatwas against her, because we at Brits Bollywood, we want Bollywood peace everywhere. Time now to go and meet one of my favourite directors. The reason why I'm wearing this coat is because Don ko pakarna mushkil hi nahi, namumkin hai. And guess who said this? It was Farhan Akhtar, guys. Check this out. Hello guys and welcome back to Brits Bollywood. As I said, I was going to meet one of my favourite directors, Farhan Akhtar. The reason I'm saying favourite because I've watched Bollywood films since childhood, right? But Dil Chahta was the only film that I actually got up and applauded.
Really? Well, thank you.
So it's an honour having you on our show here today. Now, let's talking about you're here for the Don 2 promotions. I just want to know, simple question from an audience point of view, why Don 2?
I guess the simplest answer is why not.
I was expecting that, but really, a bit elaboration.
No, really, it's a character I've been fascinated with since I first saw Don in '78. Sure. I got this wonderful opportunity to make a film with other fans, including Shah Rukh and Priyanka and Baman, and do our version and our modern interpretation of the story. And then the character stayed with me. And although I was unsure of should I do it, should I not do it, I think it really stemmed from the curiosity that was generated by the public, you know, and by this audience. Because I remember traveling around promoting Rock On, and that's the first time I really got a sense of how really enthusiastic and how ready people were for a sequel to this film. And they would just constantly ask me about when will you do Don 2, what happens to Don, you know, and then you just start thinking and, you know, stories form in your head, and we came up with a really interesting idea and then built on it. And
was it like a blessing in disguise, the whole, you took everybody by surprise with the twist at the end? Was that done consciously?
Oh, absolutely, of course. I mean, to me, I had, when I wrote the first one, or when I rewrote the first one actually, to be honest.
Well, it's all in the family anyway.
So I guess. I was very sure that I wanted the film to end with Don getting away. That I was very sure of. To me, that would justify the line, Don ko pakarna mushkil hi nahi namumkin hai. You know, it would give it the right meaning for a new audience. So that was always there, and that was always there regardless of the sequel. To me, the film is a complete film, even with that end. You know, it takes the characters for a ride, it takes the audience for a ride, and it makes perfect sense for that line now with a whole new meaning. So it was always meant to be that, and that was never done with the intention of a sequel. The sequel really happened like we just discussed.
It seems like it's the way franchises are working. When you see the Mission Impossible films, with every film, the standard and the bar for action sequences or anything is like taken to a different level. Same I can feel with Don 2 as well.
Yeah, but that is, I mean, that's I mean, I guess what you have to do. You know, when you've made a film that people have liked, they've appreciated the action, you've got to make it a little bit bigger. You know, you've got or if not even bigger, it has to be new. You know, and it has to be innovative action. So, I mean, that's really a challenge in how you write it into your screenplay, because it can't just be a standalone action sequence. So it has to fit in there. And I think all in all, you know, when I watch the film now and people have started watching it in focus screenings and things, they're enjoying it tremendously, and you know, they're all commenting on how great the action is, and how wonderfully the story is working, and that's all really, I think anyone can can ask
Sure.
for.
And why was like Germany chosen as the main location?
Yeah, the Euro plays a very
Why not London?
The Euro plays, because the Euro plays a very important part. And given that they anyway, the Euro plays a very important part in the story.
Sure.
So it needed to be in Europe somewhere.
Sure.
And then I came around. I travelled around a bit. And the thing with London is, I mean, as much as I love it and I come here very, very often, it's seen a lot in Indian movies.
Sure. Yeah, it has.
So it just from
Karan Johar listening.
Yeah, it's just from that perspective. I thought it would be nice to explore a new city. And when I went to Berlin, it did strike me. It's a very picturesque place. It has a great mix of history and modern architecture. And of course, I mean, they're also very keen and now getting a lot more interested in Indian film.
I mean, massive audience there.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shah Rukh again there is really, really popular. Not just with the Indian population that lives there, but with everyone. So they were very keen that we came there, and I loved the city. I thought it was perfect for the film. And I wanted it to be shot there in winter, so it has that very kind of, like semi-Eastern European, kind of winter look. So all in all, it just kind of all fell into place the way
Fantastic.
I wanted.
So, I mean, fashion's playing a big part in your film as well. As you said, like, the long overcoats are coming, and again, with the ancient buildings and the architecture, I think it fits in nicely. Now, please tell us, with Shah Rukh Khan, obviously, was obviously coming back as Don. What was his accountability? As in, was he like giving any additional bits and bobs to us, the character saying that your scripts ye hatao, ye change karo, wo karo, or was he like, I'm happy with it? Did he have any input?
Yeah, of course. I mean, all actors should have input. I mean, it's very difficult for a director to work with an actor who gives them nothing back.
Sure.
But saying which, it's not done. It's not done like that. I mean, you don't say remove this, put this. It's not really like that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you sit and talk about scenes, and you talk about characterization. Sure. You talk about more importantly, with actors, not just with him. Sure. It's important to understand and figure out what it is you don't want the characters to behave like, or what it is that you don't want them to do. And once you've decided on those don'ts, sure. So to speak, then they have all the freedom in the world to go ahead and do whatever they want, given all the other emotions and expressions and reactions that are possible. And just play around with them and have fun.
Absolutely. Now, it's the plot for Don 2 is probably one of the most best kept secrets, because I don't know. I mean, you did mention Europe, but apart from that, I had no clue. Right. So, are you going to tell us something more about the film or anything?
I think what the trailer suggests, to a certain extent, is that Don
still can't be.
I mean, of course. I mean, that's no one can outthink him. But what it suggests is that Don is now. He's given himself up to the police, which is the first thing that you see in the trailer, and he says that I can give you all the information you want for immunity, and he basically wants out of this business, and they don't believe him, and they say like he's obviously up to something, so they say like just put him in jail, sentence him to death, and Don isn't really someone who's going to go down that easily, so he has to come up with a certain ploy to try and get his way. But it's essentially Don trying to work towards being a free man. Sure. is what the film is about. So that's the most anyone now knows about this movie that we've revealed.
Fantastic. We are honored to have you. Now, I had a question to ask you. What was your feeling like when the first day of Dil Chahta Hai compared to the first day of Rock On?
I don't know.
How do you compare both of them?
I can't. I mean, I really can't. They're both very special moments for sure. But it's difficult to compare it because I don't think anything that I do will really compare to that first day of Dil Chahta Hai. Yeah. I really don't think that'll happen because, I mean, for the first time in your life to be on a film set as a director with really professional actors and a professional crew is something that's very memorable. And
the first day of the box office, like the first day of the film, first Friday, how does that compare?
I was very nervous. I think I was at home, locked into my room. Really? Yeah, absolutely. So a lot depended on it. So I mean, of course, there's nerves and there's a lot of anxiety, which still exists. But yeah, I mean, Dil Chahta Hai, I think always, as all first things are special, I guess, sure. It has a special place.
It probably has a special place. Now, tell us about the ladies. We've got Lara Datta and Priyanka Chopra, obviously, playing cat and mouse with Shah Rukh Khan, because she was the only one who actually knows, because he goes like, does the Billy dialogue at the end. And
no, at this point, I mean, now everyone knows, because he was meant to be Vijay and he suddenly disappeared and nobody nobody knew where he went, and they all kind of realized that actually he wasn't. So now, The interesting part again in the writing of this film is he's actually playing himself, which is the character Don through the film.
Yeah.
You know, in the first one, he played Vijay for most of the film.
Absolutely.
So he gets to be himself, which is the character that I like the most. Which is one. The second challenge was, given again the nature of the ending of the first one, you know, everyone's expecting something to happen. You know, so how do you allow them their guessing? How do you allow them their assumptions?
Absolutely.
But yet give them something that's going to surprise them at the end. So that was another challenge in the writing. And again, just like I said, from the screenings that we've had, it's always nice to see those faces. You know, those last 5 minutes you're looking around, you know, hoping people, and then everyone goes, what? You know,
nice. Social media has played such a massive part. When people watch films, they already start talking about it and giving, which I don't appreciate sometimes, because if I haven't seen a film and I go on Twitter and someone's shown me that, oh, Shah Rukh Khan survives again and there's a third part. So before I hear it from them, I have to ask you, do you think, or do you believe, or you know already, I mean, that's the wrong thing to say, will there be another Don after this?
You know, I think
there's Rock On 2 coming now.
Sure, there is. But I think there will be. You know, I mean, it is a character that will endure. You know, and I feel it's a character that people will want more of.
Sure.
It's just about getting the right story to put him into. You know, I think that's important. There is a trap which I feel a person could easily fall into. You know, that okay, it's the kind of film that people want to watch, so let me just keep making sequels. But you want to do justice to the character. You want to do justice to the films that you made before it. So that's very important to me. So I never shy away from doing it. I don't think that it would be the next film I'd want to direct. You know, I think I need to explore some other genres as well. You know, and myself as well in those genres. But of course, I mean, it's a character. I really feel that's kind of here to stay.
Great. It was a pleasure having you on our show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.